Hello, this video is going to be about necromancy and what a necromancer does. I'm looking at the Wikipedia's definition, and I've only gotten a few lines in, and it's bullshit. This says necromancy, and it gives a number of what someone believes is what it used to be called. Is a practice of magic involving communication with the dead, either by summoning their spirits as apparitions or visions, or raising them bodily for the purpose of divination, imparting the means to foretell future events, discover hidden knowledge, to bring someone back from the dead, or to use the dead as a weapon, like some kind of, I don't know, zombie that does your bidding, I suppose. Sometimes referred to as death magic. The term may also sometimes be used in a more general sense to refer to black magic or witchcraft. Yeah, I can see that. They give a bunch of, they give a biblical account of something that happened apparently from the Witch of Endor. Apparently used necromancy, some necromantic ritual to conjure the spirit of Samuel, which would be the devil, at the behest of Saul, who later, of course, in the Bible became Paul, from the, what does it say, frontispiece of Sadducosmos Fapiafatus, by Joseph Gladville. Yeah, no. And I may have said that wrong, but it doesn't matter, because it's probably made up anyway. It goes on about the magic in the Greco-Roman world, and shamanism, and calling ghosts and spirits, Egypt, Babylonia, Greece, Rome. Well, of course, all of these people have tried to come up with some way. Everybody wants to know what the future is going to be. You know, everybody wants to find a way to be able to tell the future and do things. As a necromancer, I do enjoy walking through cemeteries. They're very peaceful. We'll all end up there one day, maybe. We'll all die, but maybe not there. Very peaceful. When I was much younger, even as a teenager, I would listen to music. It's when Walkmans first came out, dating myself. Then I would frequently, there were a number of cemeteries around our neighborhood, and I would go out and sit, and it's very peaceful. It's a great place to think. But I certainly did not communicate or attempt to communicate with it. In fact, I believe I probably would have been quite pissed should one of the mausoleum doors open and something try to come out and talk to me. Is what it is. These things, the book of Deuteronomy and all of these things, it is written in a lot of, well, almost, not all, but almost all religious texts. In the religious text of well, the Israelites are warned against these people, warns against witchcraft and things like that. Now, Judaism has its element of witchcraft. It's different than a lot of whatever would be mainstream, and quite brutal if practiced right. And it's not favored. It's not a good thing. Christians as well. These are the religions that did believe in live sacrifice and child sacrifice and the power of blood when it comes to rituals and things like that. The necromancer does not do that. The necromancer basically, this, not to sound too cliche, but it becomes one with nature. They they live in a natural law state, not a man law state, not confined by any known parameters of how a human being should stand or be. And it's been referred to sometimes as they can walk in between worlds. They can choose to walk in the world of the living, but they also walk in the next world, the world of, it's not the world of the dead, really, I wouldn't say, but it's the next realm. When we die, this is the next place that we pass to, and that is true. Necromancers they are spirits that transcend all kinds of areas and all kinds of boundaries, just as something that does this. They don't require permission from anything. They don't have to meet a specific qualification or to meet any known parameters or be any certain way in order to do this. They can freely go in between the worlds and do whatever it is they choose to do. As far as seeing into the future and as predicting the future, again, I'll go back to one of my earlier videos. People don't like that. When a necromancer decides to do this, it would be usually for their own knowledge, their own benefit. They want to see how something is, what the possibility of it is, or they've been used by anyone that knows one, because it's extremely rare practice these days, very rare practice. Because society doesn't permit it. The lifestyles don't permit it. We have to live and eat and do things. But it's not impossible. I do consider myself one. I have been doing this ever since I was very, very young. And again, my family has not liked any of it. So it has basically been kept with me. And which is fine. I even it being the way that it was growing up, then I was still asked questions periodically. I knew when my father was going to pass. I knew when my grandfather was going to pass. I knew when my mother was going to get health problems and what they were. There's a lot of things that were happening. You can see. I relate them in my mind to colors. They're red streaks or they're black streaks or they're marks. There's very little, and very little of life is yellow and white and bright and it's just not the natural way. That's not the natural way of a human being. Our needs are just to survive as a human being and be able to think logically or think at all. It takes quite a bit of effort, and there's a lot of things that are involved. So you see what I mean? It's not it's not all roses at all. Learning things through necromancies, again, it's all truth. The universe doesn't operate in lies or it doesn't fool you. It doesn't have any of that. So what you see is what is. And even sometimes, depending on what you're seeing and where you are, you can even see possibilities of it. This is how the necromancer, excuse me, every video, right? God, and I didn't even eat anything yet. This is how they influence to change possibility, if they're so inclined to do that. In other words, adjust reality for everybody. Is it possible? Absolutely and completely. People, they try to do it every single day. A necromancer does it alone. This is not a group or this isn't a congregation activity. I don't know even how that could be. But we're at 10 minutes. I'm going to have to cut this short within the next minute or so. But please, if you have questions, ask. We're certainly not evil people. I don't believe in evil. Again, I don't believe in evil or good. It's not. My mind doesn't work that way. People may do things I don't like or things that I really, really like. It doesn't make them evil or good. So I can discuss some things that I have done, and I can do a demonstration of something, which I can almost feel. Well, I can feel this is probably what's been most expected by some people who think something different than what I really am, but it is what it is. Again, any questions, please ask. I don't see any reason to hide or hide anything because it is what it is. But these things, what I read on Wiki, I just wanted to see for the purpose of this video. It's crap. Nobody documented this stuff way back, and it goes way back into the Canaanites, which is the religion had to do with the sun and other things that Judaism and Christianity came from, and also Islam. They're only about 5 sentences apart from being the exact same religion. So anyway, maybe another video, but thank you for listening, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. I have a list, but we'll see. But I will talk to you later.